Hello, I am Shay, and you're watching Born Again Nerd. Well, today I have something interesting to show off. Also kind of do a review of my first impression. I'll probably do more because I just got this in yesterday. So let me grab the camera and swing you around real quick. So this deal, I put a Game Boy Color just so you can kind of get an idea of how big this unit really is. This is called an LDK game. It ordered from China, or at least that's where I ordered mine. And these are some of the specs here. So you could read that on your own, but it has UV port, it's got an LR shoulder buttons, brightness control setup. My camera's messing up a little bit here. Maybe. Ugh, this camera. Anyway, it's got a brightness control. I'll go through all that stuff, but just note that it has some stuff listed here, right? I'll get this out of the way so we can got it. I think I still have a screen protector on here, so it's a fingerprint magnet at the moment, but as soon as I turn it on, you won't really see it too well. I'll turn it on. It uses this open Linux operating system. It's loading right now. There we go. There's the menu. As you can tell, it's pretty bright. Basically, this is a little pocket emulator that holds a little bit of everything in it. It's got a Game Boy Advance emulator, an NES emulator, Mega Drive, which is the Sega Genesis, Game Boy. This is the operating system that it comes with, okay? And what's neat about this unit is that you can use custom firmware. So you don't have to settle for this one if you don't want to. Although I kind of like this one a little bit better. But when you get this and you order it and you want to know how to use this thing, well, you come to the right place because I'm using the original firmware that it was installed in. To select the menu, you hold down the shoulder buttons, and let me give you kind of a rundown what everything is, just so you know. This is the volume wheel, which is not one of my favorite parts of this unit. It's hard to grab because it's like far into the case and it's just a small wheel and it's really hard to grab it. This is the power button. This is a shoulder button. This is the back. The battery is a rechargeable battery. You can look at the specs down below in the description. A lot more info about that stuff. And then this right here is, I believe, kind of like a menu bar or a power sleep bar. It puts the unit to sleep if you just have it on the menu. And this is the brightness control. So, yeah, you can see it kind of flicker. It is changing. So I'll probably just leave it there. Up at the top, this is where I got screwed up. This is indeed a TV output and a 3.5, sorry, I think it's a 3.5 millimeter jack or something like that. It's a headphone jack and it's a TV output line. So I at first didn't think it came with a headphone. So the screen is super bright. I just went to sleep on me. Great. Okay. I don't know if I turn some of the lights down would actually help the camera out at all. Well, that kind of works just like that. I guess if I hold it like that. So I'm going to use the shoulder buttons to access the top menu here. So, and it's very bumpy, it's clicky, it's very responsive, so you have to kind of just note that when you press it, it almost like jumps 2 ahead instead of 1. Go over, these are some games. So say that you buy this unit and you don't have any games to play on it yet. Like, you just don't have anything yet. No big deal. There's actually some games on here that you can start playing. Some of them are not too bad. Wow, the glare on this thing is really difficult to get. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Let's see here. I don't know what Chocolate Doom means, but obviously there's just some, demo games in here that you can try. I'll load one up so you can see one. And I think I'll do the fighting game because that seems to be pretty cool. So let me find that. You can go through all these and look at them yourself and see which ones you like the best. Some of them are really good, some are not. So you have to kind of use discernment, I guess, for what you think is good. This one I think is actually pretty good, so let me start that up. It says it was launching, just in case you didn't catch that. So I want to try to get a close-up. See if the camera focuses. No. Looking for that sweet spot on the camera. You can actually see it. Reflecting back. Okay, this game comes with it. I already chose the girl beforehand, so I'll try to get a close-up so you can see. The sound quality is okay. It's to be expected for these little emulators. Sometimes the speakers are, the sound quality is just not the greatest. That's just what you get. Oops, I just got nailed by some, I don't know. I'm looking through the camera. I don't know what those are. Hoodlums? Got a whip too, man. Oh, watch out, I'll get ya. Oh, that's interesting. I have no idea what that is, but it's pretty cool. Get a little first-person footage going on here. I'm doing it a little differently this time because, well, this unit is really new. I don't know what all it can do yet. But this is going to be a basic review. Just in case, because there might be something later down the road I might want to cover on this thing. And right now, I think I just want to keep it basic. So you get the idea, right? I mean, not bad graphics, right? I mean, this game is pretty cool, and it comes with the unit. Well, it came with mine. So, I'm not guaranteed that it'll come with yours, but it did come with mine. So, I'm going to return back to the menu. Okay. And I think I hit... Yeah, this is called Streets of Rage Remake. I'm sure you can find this game anywhere. It's probably a fan-made game. So I just hit the select button over until I went back to this main menu. Okay. Just a couple things I want to show off. There's some more emulators on here which I don't have anything for. There's like Atari Lynx, Commodore, ColecoVision. I mean, you can put all your older game, DOS even. Some older games that you might have in your collection. You can actually put it on here. So, I'm going to keep this review sort of kind of sweet and dry at the moment. Because, again, I'm still kind of playing around with this unit. You can load your own games through a SD card. Or you can plug it into your computer. There's an SD card inside. If you pop the battery off here, there's an SD card sitting right on the board. You can take it right out, pop it in your computer, and back up your games there. And the speaker is right here, and it's very loud. Like I said, the only thing I can note that I'm not real big crazy about is the wheel itself, but at least it has a volume control. The screen is super bright. It's huge compared to, you know, this, where it doesn't light up at all. But it's about the same size as maybe a DS Lite, but more of my neons that I made. Okay, and this will kind of give an idea of the screen. It's just dusty. It's not scratched at all, and the light itself is bright. So if I turn it off, you kind of just see the screen, right? Okay, let me turn this one off. This does go to sleep on me, so it makes me feel like it quit working, and it didn't. So you can tell, I don't have a game in the other one. I can change that though. I can put a game in. I'm a big fan with the neon lights because I make them. I actually make these, and I'll be selling them on Etsy in the future. So, okay. So anyway, so let me kind of fix the camera so I can get this to come in right. So I can get them both. So you can see that they're very similar. So even in just a modded DS Lite that I have here, is about comparative brightness. So I'm going to zoom in on this, just get an idea how crisp it is. And then I'm going to hop over here. And the light's probably going to work against me a little bit because it's bright, but yeah, so they're comparable. But unlike the Game Boy Neon here, it only plays Game Boy Advance games, so it's a little limited on the library of games unless you have ways to play more. But this whole guy, you can play Atari games and computer games too, if you have those backed up. Okay, so my final thoughts is the shoulder buttons. Some people have complained that the shoulder buttons are harder to access when you're playing. Now, I find that to be opposite. I actually find it kind of nice to have the shoulder buttons up here, because down here would feel weird to me. I have tiny hands, so, and then, respectively, the DS modded GBA here has the shoulder buttons still installed, and they are actually on top of the unit, and it's kind of similar. There's not really much different except for the fact that this thing is more square. So anybody with really big hands probably will not like this unit too well because it is tiny. I don't know, it's not as tiny as a micro, but it's pretty small. Final thoughts on the buttons. The buttons, well, the build quality itself is kind of cheap. I was disappointed that the feel of the plastic is a really flimsy feel. It doesn't have that thickness feel to it that you like when you get a really nice unit. The plastic is kind of like a reshell or kind of a plastic feel. It's cheaper. It's not as sturdy as I was hoping for. The buttons are very responsive and clicky. It's kind of good and bad at the same time because, like I said, it's very responsive. The buttons down here feel fine. They respond well. They're plastic. Same with these are plastic, and the arrow air direction keys are pretty good. They're nice and stiff, and you've got some good grip there, so that's nice. And they're also plastic too. So final thoughts. Well, the more I play with this unit, the more I like it, so I think I'll give it a chance to see it to maybe match up to some of the other pocket emulators I have. For now, I think I'll leave this as a open discussion if this unit is worth, I believe it's going for about $50 on AliExpress. Might go up in price after that, I'm sure. So, because, the market fluctuates with these kinds of things all the time. And I keep, blinding myself. So, that's it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and like and share and hit the bell. We'll be loading up more cool stuff here in the future so that you'll be first to know. Alrighty, I'm out of here.